Okay, so we're joined by another former Loughborough College student. I'll let you introduce yourself, sir.
So my name's Sam Trickett. I went to Loughborough College in 2014. I finished in 2016 and I'm 21 years old.
So Sam, what is your career and what do you do right now?
I teach kickboxing.
So sports coaching is kind of what you want to do, and that's what you've always been in kickboxing yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been training in kickboxing since 2011. And I knew roughly when I was about to leave school in 2014, that kickboxing would potentially be something that I want to do long term as a career.
And I think it's interesting. We've just been talking about it. So you went into the BTEC, and you did well. You got some good grades on the BTEC. You did really well. You worked hard, and from there, university wasn't an option for you. You just didn't feel like university was for you afterwards.
Yeah, no, university. I never really felt. I never had that feeling of, yes, I'd love to go to university. It was always, to me, it was never really for me in my mind. So I didn't end up going, no.
But you went to Camp America.
Yes, I did.
So tell me about that Camp America experience, how it helped you.
Yeah, cool. So I finished college, and then it was not long after that summer that we finished college, and then it was the summer half term or whatever. Some holidays, should I say. And it was at the end of that I decided I should get a proper job. So I did. I got a proper job. I was working in a warehouse, not on very good pay. But I'd already applied to go to America to work on a summer camp for kids. So I did that halfway through working for this guy. I went for 3 months, and it was whilst I was away in America that I thought to myself, I need to be happy. I need to do what I want to do and what I'm passionate about. Which was kickboxing. I always loved not only training in kickboxing and doing the competitive side, but helping people reach their own goals as well and pushing themselves further. That was really what got me going. Helping other people with it and seeing how it could help them and change their life.
So what did you learn when you went to America then? Because it's quite a big step to kind of come out of your comfort zone, leave your friends, and kind of go over there and coach. And let's be honest, you don't know lots of money. But it's the experience.
No. I actually, it cost me more to go out there. I was on $70 a week, working pretty much 20 hours a day because you're looking after the kids. When you're not teaching, I did fishing. I taught kids fishing on a boat. But when you're not teaching, you're with a group of kids. And I had 6 to 8 year olds. Say $70 a week, which is pretty poor. Well, it's extremely poor. It cost me about $1.5 grand to go out there. I didn't make any money from it. To me, though, it was just a life experience that I wanted to do, and I always wanted to do it from young. Because my cousin, when I was about 10 years old, my cousin was going out. I thought that's definitely something that I'm going to do one day, no matter what. So I did, and it was to go out there. The biggest thing I wanted to get out of it was just to meet other people and just to get a different perspective on life, really.
So you kind of came back, and then it was about owning your own business then, because that's the thing I think we've not touched on it. You've got your own kickboxing business here.
Yeah. I've got my I'm the club that I started training with in 2011. I franchise off them. So effectively, I run my own business. I pay a fee per month for various locations, and from that, I can open as many clubs as I want in the areas that I pay fees for. Yeah, it was when I was in America that I thought that I can't go back and do a job that I'm not happy doing for very little pay. I need to do something I'm passionate for, even if it meant taking a pay cut, because I was still living at home with my mum. I didn't have any massive overheads. I didn't have any real serious ties to, I didn't have a baby at that point. So I thought, why not? And, whether it works or doesn't, I'll be happy that I tried it.
So to get into coaching, I think one of the key things for the learners to understand is that a degree can be helpful, cannot be helpful, etc. But the key thing is your coaching qualifications, and that's something you've done obviously through kickboxing.
Yeah. So my club it was actually the same time whilst I was at college. The club that I'm a part of, they run a training course which you have to do over a certain duration of days. And you also have to be a certain grade. So I think at that time I was a brown belt, or I may have been a purple belt. But you had to be a higher grade to be able to go on the course, and you had to have done a minimum amount of hours already helping the coach teach. So I did that, and then I went on the course, passed the course, and from there I waited for about another 2 years, it would have been 2 years. Sorry, it would have been a bit longer than that. It would have been about 3 or 4 years. I was helping teach most days with my coach. I missed out on lots of different things, and basically, depending on how well you performed over that amount of time, would depend on whether or not he would say yes. We can look at getting you your own club now, and everything.
I think it's important, like you said there, though, the volunteering is huge, isn't it? For sports coaching in this field, volunteering's a big part.
I think volunteering and doing... I didn't ever expect to get anything back from helping and volunteering. I think if you're expecting to be paid for your time at such a young age and having not had much experience, it's... Because I say that because my family would often say, well, Sam, you're helping out all the time, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing weekends, you're doing extra stuff, which none of the other assistants do. You should ask for pay, and I never did. I never felt happy doing that because I knew long term this was going to benefit me massively, and it's pretty priceless, to be honest with you. As I had a really good coach, a really great mentor, and he taught me a lot. So
I think that's really important. Like you say, I think sometimes the price of being with somebody and learning from them and all them experiences you learn, and also at 16, 17, 18, you can make the mistakes. You can, with someone guiding you.
Yeah, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, you can make mistakes, you can make mistakes. I think the biggest thing, as I just said, if you don't have any serious overheads or any serious ties, then you can make mistakes and fail. It's good to fail, in my opinion. I've failed lots of times, but it's just made me come back stronger. Yeah. As long as you're willing to get back up and to keep trying, that's what matters.
Yeah. No, like I say, I think it's the thing. I think, so for learners right now, the one of the best advice I think you can say is kind of go out there and get experience and go and help local clubs, or
go out there and just do without expecting anything in return. That's what my advice would be, and don't just do it to think, well, I'm going to do it for this amount of time and eventually something will happen. Just do it not expecting anything whatsoever, and good things will come, and put your passion into it and show the people around you when you're doing it that you're very passionate about it and that you enjoy it, and that's what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the good parts of your job then? What do you enjoy?
Good parts of my job? Well, over I'm 2.5 years in now from when I started full time. The first year and a half, pretty solid. I was only still teaching about 3 or 4 classes a week, but I was also PTing, so I was doing 1-to-1 sessions, doing 10 to 15 of them a week, and that doesn't sound like a lot of hours working. So I was only working, physically 20 hours a week, but then there's all the other hours and the admin and marketing and lots of stuff that people don't see. So to be honest with you, even now I don't have much of a social life, but and I think a lot of people at this age, 16, to mid-20s, that's what life's about, having a social. And great, but for me, I knew that I needed to sacrifice some things in order to get to where I want to get. So going back to what you asked, what's the good things and bad things? The good things are that I teach exactly what I want, and I'm my own boss, and I do. And whether I could be a really I could be in a different position to where I am now if I worked even harder, or I could be in a completely different position right now if I didn't work as hard as I had worked. So what I'm getting at is it's up to me how what I want and how much I want out of it, depending on how hard I work. When you say good or bad things, there's lots of good things. Obviously, I teach what I want to do. I get to help. I've had a lot of messages off people over the past couple of years. People saying that I've to help change their child's life with regards to being confident and having that ability. One kid in particular came to me when he was 8 years old, very shy, didn't talk to me for the first year in class, turn up, he'd do his bit though, he'd always work hard, I'd make him work. He will happily hold a conversation, his concentration in school's gone up. That for me is what, that's what makes me want to teach. So I'm going on a bit of a rant here.
No, it's great.
Yeah, no, there's lots of good things, obviously, as I say, but it's not. And when I first started, naively, I thought, yeah, I'll teach kickboxing. I'll work however many hours a week I want. I'll earn good money, but it's not. There's a lot to get to that point. It takes a lot more. So I think the biggest thing is, and I sometimes forget it, is that the best thing for me is I'm my own boss. Yeah. It's up to me on how well I do or how well I don't do. Yeah. And I like that. So
absolutely. I think one of the important things that we spoke about before, obviously before we started to record this, was you've had to learn new skills in sports coaching that you probably wouldn't think of. So things like marketing and things like, communications and how you respond to parents. These are some of the skills that learners really need to kind of learn now and hone now.
Yeah, 100%. The biggest game changer for me in my business, well, let's put it this way. For the first year, I was doing leafleting. I was writing up posts on Facebook to share to my friends and get all my friends to share and tag. I was putting in buying, selling groups. I was putting in sale groups. I was doing everything I could for free on Facebook. Also leafleting, putting posts up around villages and whatnot. And I got to a point I had about 30 students, which is, not bad. But to put me in a position where I wanted to be lifestyle-wise, I needed to have a lot more students, obviously, to make it work financially. And when I learned how to market via Facebook specifically, that's when everything really changed. As that gave me and it took a lot of hard work and a lot of investment, but it was all very much worth it. The way I looked at it was, let's say it takes, I don't know, how much is it to go to uni per year, roughly, Danny?
So about £9,000 the kids will pay. That's in fees.
Pardon?
That's in fees plus your loan. You're talking probably about £15,000-16,000
per year.
Per year.
Okay, cool. So I thought to myself, if I spend £10,000 this year learning not only how to market, but actually doing it, paying for advertisement and stuff, whether I come out of it and I do well or bad, it's just like going to university. I've tried it, and I'll see how it goes. And it paid off, and don't get me wrong, when it comes, again, I'm going off on a bit of a rant here, but when it comes to marketing, it's always changing, especially Facebook and the way it works. So I've spent thousands of pounds learning how to do this. But now I'm at a point where, and I have a mentor, so I have a Facebook mentor who helps teach me all these things, and it's not cheap, but I'm able to pay for it because of all the stuff I learned way back when.
But it's an investment, isn't it, Sam? It's an investment. You invest in yourself and your company.
Yeah, massively. Yeah, massive investment. I think what we were discussing a moment ago was it doesn't matter how good you are at something. I know some world-class martial artists, some world champions, like top guys and girls. But some of them, they can't teach. And not only that they can't teach, if they can teach, they struggle to get students in because they don't know how to market. I also know some dojos, as people call them, clubs that aren't very good necessarily, which have hundreds of students and earn a killing, turning hundreds of thousands of pounds over a year. So it's, when it comes to something like this, there could be any sport that you want to teach. It all comes down to get clients in. It all comes down to the look that you have and the image that you have, and getting in front of people. As I say, no one cares whether or not you're a 10th dan black belt and you've had 10 world titles. No one cares about that. They care about what they're getting out.
Yeah. So they also care that you care about their kids. It sounds like I've said this before. Parents, their biggest commodity, their most valuable thing in their life is their kids. So if they're going to spend money on it, then they want to see you do it.
Sorry, that's what I was getting onto. I think what I was saying to Tony was a minute ago. When I'm teaching, I'm thinking, when I'm teaching a kid and they're in front of me, I'm thinking about what the parent's thinking, sat over there watching me teach their child. And that doesn't mean that I'm all fluffy and nice to their child all the time. I'll be, we have fun, we have banter. For kids to stick at something and to do well in it, they've got to enjoy it, right? But at the same time, you can't just be fun and bubbly all the time. You've got to be firm with them as well. And parents like that, especially in what I do, martial arts. They like that part of it. But it's you got to have a good mix of both. And like you just said then, parents, they love their kids. They do anything for the kids. And if they see that, someone like me or any sports coaches helping their kid a lot, then they'll stick with it.
No, absolutely. So Sam, then what's your kind of progression? Where do you see yourself kind of next 5-10 years? What do you think you'll be doing?
5-10 years. Well,
more kids.
More kids, yeah. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see on that one. Business-wise, I'd like to be in a position where I'll always want to teach. I think that'll be enough. I'll always want to teach my own classes in-house, but I'd like to be in a position where I can, and I already do to a degree, but I'd like to be in a better position where I can employ people to teach. so I can effectively do what I want day to day.
Yeah.
Which would probably be opening another business, to be honest with you. But you know, I want to be in a position in 5 to 10 years where I can wake up on a Monday or whatever day it might be, and make up my own mind, a decision as to what I want to do and where I want to go, etc. And to be in a position, obviously a good position financially. You know, who doesn't want to be in that position? But it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. And resilience.
Absolutely. That's the thing that's came across, which is really good. The last question, Sam, is if I took you back to 2014, back into the classroom, you just started Loughborough College, what would you tell yourself?
What would I tell myself? Everything's going to be all right. That's what I'd tell myself, because I wasn't, as Danny knows, I wasn't very academic. I worked my bollocks off in my GCSEs. I came out with 4 GCSEs at C level. Actually, no, 2 of them were BTECs, 2 of them were Cs. Yeah. So, you know, and I worked very hard to do that. Again, like I just told Danny, I nearly didn't get on the college course at Loughborough because I didn't have enough GCSEs. They let me on, and then they were going to review it within 3 months. And they could see that I was working hard and I was trying to, you know, they let me continue, which I'm very grateful for. But what I tell myself is, don't worry. If you fail, great, go again. If you fail again, great, go again. And just keep going. You know, that's what it's about. It's you didn't know how to eat with a spoon before, you know, you just kept doing it and doing it and doing it, and you learn. Same with walking, same with anything you do in life. You have to fail to get to where you want to get. No one that's successful legitimately has not failed. No. Everyone's failed.
Yeah.
And you need to, it's good. It builds up a resilience. It builds up. It's changed me. You know, I think one of the biggest things is because I'm dyslexic and because I've always struggled academically, I was a little bit used to failing, if you like. You know, I've also been most of my life quite badly asthmatic. So I've always loved sport. I've always loved sport, but my asthma used to always let me down a lot. But I was so used to failing a little bit in school, failing a little bit in sport, and some other areas in life, but I just kept going and kept going and kept going. And overall, it built up this resilience that I truly believe I can do anything. Even if I don't really know much about it, I can learn. You know, it might take me a long time, but you can do anything you want. I almost, it sounds silly, but I almost feel grateful for having not been good academically or fitness-wise or whatever, because it's taught me a lot of things.
Yeah. No, I think that's fantastic advice, Sam. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
No problem, Danny.